Hello and welcome to FiveJay Gaming. I'm FiveJay and I'm playing Double Cross, which is one of those annoying games where the moment you click anywhere outside the game, it minimizes and shuts off the sound. So that's interesting. Like, hey, I just want to check in on I'm on my YouTube right now. Oh, already, just switching between apps. It's gone. Nothing you can do. And it makes your mouse go away. So I literally cannot use my mouse while it's open. So weird. That is why sometimes the music will just cut out. Alright, there's a bunch of people here already. Mellyman14, Chelsea, Simon. Welcome, guys. Go with the Craig. How's it going? Oh, Echo again. Yeah. That's right. I should have figured this out already. And, of course, like this. Better, yes? That should be better. See, in all that time you had to sit there and listen to nothing, see nothing but a boring desktop. Sad. Sorry that there was an echo there. My bad. Okay, so how's it going, guys? Welcome. This game was donated to me by Ryuko-chan, who you all should know if you are a regular. So yeah, she got a code, and she was like, I'm not really gonna play this game. You want it? I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's go for it. So thanks so much, Ryuko-chan. I don't know that she's watching just yet, but once she is, I will be thanking her then as well. Craig says he is a J-Borg. That's right. And have that echo going. Good. So this, I very quickly looked at a little trailer for this game, and it looks like it's sort of like a puzzle platformer. So those are good words to me. One of my favorite games from 2016 was, oh, what is it called now? It's not Untangled. The game with Yarny. What was that game called? Boy, that's gonna bother me now. But there was a second one, and that was good too, but I haven't come back to it yet. I gotta get back to it. It's so good. Alright, so I got my controller all hooked up. This is interesting to me because it was a PC game that actually recommended that you use a controller. Usually that's not how PC Master Race works. Okay, there's a bunch of Earths. However, interdimensional travel can lead to crime, contamination, and horrible consequences. Kid kind of looks like Ash Ketchum. One organization is responsible for the care and protection of reality, Rift. Regulators of interdimensional frontiers and technology, from their headquarters in the Extraverse. Boy, the text is going too fast for me to be able to read it out loud. In my head, it's plenty of time. The Extraverse, Rift headquarters. Thursday, 1 a.m. I don't think so. Wait, 1300 a.m. That doesn't make sense. 1300 hours would be 1 p.m. So 1300 a.m. That's nonsense. That's literal, actual gibberish. Oh, that's a good-looking dude right there. And his name is V quotation marks, exclamation point, K, curly brace, little squiggly line, X. That is an alien name if I ever seen one. Don't worry, I'll make it clear in my report that it was just an accidental interdimensional travel. Everything will be cleaned up in a few hours, okay? Thanks, I know it's too late, but I'm sorry for all the trouble. There was a strange light, and suddenly I was somewhere else, and I was so confused. All these people without tentacles, they looked so tasty. These things happen sometimes. There are Earths where food looks like people, and people look like food. That's why Rift exists. Luckily, there were no casualties, but it's why we closely regulate interdimensional travel here. It's gonna be so cool to be a Rift agent and visit all those worlds. Where are we now? The Rift headquarters. This is where we open portals to other Earths and monitor them for portal activation signatures. So apparently there's a story here about controlling time travel. Unravel. Is that the name of it? Did I say untangled? That maybe that's what I was messing up on. Yeah, Unravel, that's got to be it. And then Unravel 2, and it was multiplayer, and it's really good. Or you could switch off. Good times. Yes, that was it, Chelsea. Thank you. My day's been good so far. Simon, how's yours? J.E.'s here. What's up, man? He says, FiveJay, it's hard for me to go back to eating regular-sized portions of food after being a glutton for so long. I guess I got to take baby steps. No, I hear you, J.E. No, that was a struggle for me, too. First, going onto a diet after having not been on a diet. You know, I'd eat massive amounts of food. Like, you know, you'd eat a whole pizza. And it wasn't a problem. And so it's an adjustment. Your stomach actually gets bigger the more food that you eat. It actually does stretch out, which sounds like, yeah, awesome, I can eat more food. No, it just makes you fatter. Makes it easier for you to overeat. So as you stick to a diet and you stick with it, you know, you don't cheat, you don't stuff yourself too much, your stomach will actually shrink in size, and your appetite will not be as large as it used to be. I mean, it probably isn't going to be a massive difference if you were once 1,200 pounds, you know. I don't think your stomach is going to go from being this big to being this big, but it'll shrink a little bit, and it'll definitely help you to not be so hungry. So, Craig, why are you sad? What's going on, man? What is the haps? All right. She punches. She jumps. And she does whatever that is. Oh, and whatever that is. Appears to be a dodge or a roll. Hello there. Helena. The briefing is about to begin, Lady Zahara. Zara. Take the elevator down and head to the portal room. She has a deep voice for a lady. Craig is, of course... I'm saying Craig. It's Craig, right? Craig is, of course, sad about the Metroid Prime 4 news. You know, I'm not. There were a lot of people that were nervous about Metroid Prime 4 because it wasn't being developed by Retro, and the only thing they would say about, you know, who was developing it was that it was a new team. And that made people kind of uncomfortable, right? Like, what do you mean? And even though a new team at one point was Retro, I think, you know, there's some cause to be concerned. And sure enough, what do you know, less than a year before the game comes out, you know, who knows how many months it was supposed to be, like, no more than, like, 11 months, right? So, you know, in several months' time, they suddenly said, you know what, we actually have to scrap the entire game and start over. That's bad. It was in a bad state. So I'm really glad that they didn't try and just, like, power through it, like, nah, we gotta push this out the door. They're like, nah, we should go back to Retro. These guys know what they're doing. And they do. Chelsea says, that's my problem with food. Since I'm home most of the time, I snack because I'm bored. I know what you mean, Chelsea. I eat less when I'm at work because I can only eat what I bring, and I'm more engaged in something. You know, I don't have an opportunity to be as bored because I'm always expected to be doing something. Or people are always pinging me, or I'm always reading emails, you know? So, yeah, it's a lot harder when you're just home doing your thing, not exactly, you know, engaging in deep thought or activity. You're just going to be snacking all the time, and it's tough. It is tough. I've been there. Tell you the truth, I don't know that I care about the story so much. I just want to play. It's a platformer, you know? Does it need to have a story about interdimensional travel? I don't know if it does. We'll hit the training room, I guess. Oh, I'm glad I did, because we got to see this guy. Well, tiny little legs, massive upper body. You know, don't skip leg day, folks. Don't do it. Craig says, I know it's good, but I'm still sad. I can't help it. I hear ya. It means that we're not going to see the game probably, honestly, for 3 to 5 years. That hurts. It does. It really does. But at least they're open and honest about it. You know, when it comes to other games, like, what happened with Kingdom Hearts 3? Why did it take, what was it, 15 years, 12 years? It was more than 10 Final Fantasy 15 took 10 years. What was it? The Last Guardian took 10 years. You know, a bunch of games took 10 years, and somehow Kingdom Hearts 3 took more than 10 years. What happened? Oh my goodness. So this time at least we know, hey, we thought it was going to be okay. Turns out it is a pile of garbage. We're starting over with a different studio that you know and trust. So, sorry. See you in 3 to 5. Yeah, kind of stinks. Simon says, "Dear Lord, it's Friday. I need to get to a place to party and celebrate Friday." Well, that's what we're doing right here, right now. You can go party after the stream in a different way. J.E. says, "I don't get why people feel the need to make fun of what somebody does on a Friday evening." Somebody making fun of you? I mean, I know young people like to go out on a Friday night, but not everybody is like that. Oh, of course not. Man, I was looking forward to playing video games all weekend, usually. Sometimes with friends, sometimes not. You know, maybe I'm going out somewhere, but we're not doing anything real special, you know? Simon says, "Craig, join the MP4 Bittersweeteners." Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. But, you know, this probably, like, the stars aligned for this. Because the rumor goes that Retro Studios was working on a totally different game for years. And they had to scrap their game. And then the fact that Metroid Prime 4, which has obviously been in development for a long time, also got scrapped. When Retro is now available, they're like, oh, you know what? As long as we're starting over, why don't we use Retro now that they don't have a giant game that we're working on anymore? So, if that's how it went behind the scenes, then it's kind of fate. It's like they tried to move ahead without Retro, and it was destiny stopping them and saying, nope, Retro, your game, gone. And you team developing Metroid Prime 4, sorry, you get the axe. You know who needs to be doing this. Put Retro in the driver's seat. Justin says, "My Friday night consists of gaming and coloring." Oh, you like to do coloring books, huh? I think Lauren's done a couple of those. I always have fond memories of coloring because I was fortunate enough to know my great-grandmother when I was young, and she taught me how to color. She had this really cool style of coloring where she would make like a dark outline and then fill in the rest of it very lightly. And it had this really, really cool look to it. And I hadn't seen anybody color like that before my great-grandma showed me. And so, yeah, there's always going to be a fondness in me for coloring. Oh. Well, apparently that's going to be useful at some point. Good. Mega Man X-style wall climbing. Good stuff. Parker says, "I'm sad Glitch Tail left me on a hanger." Glitch Tail. Not sure what that is. But I... Press attack or heavy attack? Oh, Y is heavy attack. Gotcha. Aha, grab ledges. My wife and I just watched The Good Place Season 3 finale. Oh man, they always leave you on cliffhangers in The Good Place. If you guys watch that show, seriously, it's amazing, but do yourself a favor, start over at Season 1. My brother, I think, was like watching random episodes in Season 3, and seriously, that is a show, even though it's like a comedy, like, you do not want spoilers. That show, start Season 1, Episode 1, and watch it from there on out. You do not want spoilers. It will change the whole nature of everything. So don't do it. Craig says, well, at least Metroid Prime 4 didn't get totally canned like the visceral Star Wars game. Exactly. Exactly. And that happens with a lot of games. So, absolutely. You know, who knows how many games Nintendo has canceled in the past that we never even heard about. I was just listening to IGN's Nintendo Voice Chat podcast recently, and they were mentioning that on the GameCube box, the launch model GameCubes, they actually had on the box there Donkey Kong Kart. So not not Diddy Kong Racing. It was Donkey Kong Racing. That's what it was. Donkey Kong Racing was on the original GameCube box, saying coming soon, and it didn't. Obviously, it never came, and it probably shouldn't have. And that's why they canceled it. But there must have been something redeemable about Metroid Prime 4. They must have thought, okay, well, it's a good idea, but you know, it's just going very poorly. I brought this up in my Discord before. That Earthbound was in danger of being canceled. It was a big mess of code and totally broken until Satoru Iwata himself fixed it. So that's cool. He recoded the entire game from scratch. So there's a chance actually that that's the sort of thing that's going on. They're like going to recode the entire game. And you know, a Super Nintendo game getting recoded in 1993, 4 is a lot different from 2019 fully 3D gigantic high-res world with, you know, very interactive environments and things. Getting that recoded is very different. So if that is the situation, I can see where it would take a significant amount of time. But if that's all they're doing, then it might almost be good news in that maybe it's only 2 years until they fix it. Maybe. But yeah, if they are literally, there's nothing redeemable about it, then we're looking at least 3 years. At least. Energy meter. Can be used in 3 different ways. Hold heal to heal yourself. Okay. Press burst to unleash a powerful area of effect attack that hurts and knocks back enemies in range. And fireball is her most, devastating attack. Gotcha. So, how do I know what button does what? I'm not sure, but I think we're supposed to build up energy until we can use those moves. Whoa. Hey, Blake's here. What's up, dude? How's it going, man? Okay, let me, I gotta switch because there's a lot of chats. And unfortunately, the game, like, closes down anytime I have to use my mouse on something. So, let's take a look here. I guess not quite as much as I thought. You want more volume on the game? Sure, Simon, I can do that. Chelsea says, I just bought a fan-made Legend of Zelda coloring book on Twitter. Nice. Parker says, I sketch at school at my notebook. Oh, yeah. Everybody did that. In school? Man, you're so bored. How can you not sketch something, right? You can't not. Parker says, Glitch Tale is a popular fan animation of Undertale. Ah, okay. I got it. It's like, it sounds like Undertale. J.E. says, there's a rumor going around that Nintendo is not ready to remodel their Switch yet, but I believe whenever the PS5 and next Xbox come out, then we'll probably get some new hardware. There's rumors about everything. I saw another rumor that Nintendo is looking to introduce, was it 2 or 3 models? Different models, which I could totally see that too. Blake says, how expensive are recodes? Can studios afford that? Well, Nintendo, I think, has to do it because they said it was coming out this year, and Metroid is a series that they have ignored for so many years that their core fans would be really, really upset after they had announced it at E3 this last year, and then they totally cancel it forever. Yeah, this is going to hurt enough as it is, but I think they have to come through with this. And it's especially impressive because Metroid does not make a lot of money for Nintendo. It really doesn't. And that's why they don't make a lot of them. But they know that the hardcore fans love it. So here and there, they're like, all right, we'll give you a Metroid game. But yeah, it's not a big moneymaker for them. So you can always think of the Metroid series as Nintendo's love letter to the fans, because it sure ain't doing much for their bank accounts. Crank says, imagine if the Metroid skipped the Wii U and the Switch. Well, there was real danger of that happening. Hold heal to heal. Here's the thing, it doesn't actually tell you what button is what. You want a little more volume there, Simon. I'm going to keep it at 5 for now. Controls, here we go. Heal. I don't know what that button means. It's double arrow. Left shift. Oh, wait. Gamepad. Joystick button 1, 2, 3. Okay. That doesn't make any sense at all. Just back to... Okay, holding B is apparently heal. We got it. Perfect. Joystick button. Yeah, very, very specific there. Ryuko-chan says, I'm so late! Did you fall asleep there, Ryuko-chan? That's okay. Ryuko-chan donated this game here tonight, so thanks so much, Ryuko-chan. Dodging. Oh, yes. Can I dodge through this? Sure can. But you have to actually do the dodge. Pro tip. Dodging is good when you dodge. I know. It's a very useful tip. Craig says, imagine if Metroid Prime 4 was the first Nintendo console game to have microtransactions to cover development costs. Gross. I don't think Metroid Prime is the candidate for microtransactions in a console Nintendo game. No. A Mario game with cosmetics, or maybe a Fire Emblem game with lots of DLC characters. They've seen huge success with that with Fire Emblem Heroes, right? So, yeah, I don't think that Metroid Prime is the best candidate for microtransactions. No way, Jose. There we go. That boy there, he's a freaky dude. J.E. says Punch-Out isn't a big moneymaker for Nintendo either. Yep, and that's why you don't see any Punch-Out games, or F-Zero, right? You don't see F-Zero anymore. And Star Fox must do something for them, but they can't seem to get it right anymore without having to remake the N64 game. So I wonder how much of a future Star Fox has for Nintendo, which is really sad. The good news is, if you still have a Wii U and you want to play Star Fox Zero and you don't want to pay full price, it is dirt cheap right now. I saw it brand new on Amazon, you know, sealed, $13. And it comes with Star Fox Guard in the box, remember. So that's actually 2 games in one for $13. I gotta pounce on that. I mean, that's perfect. Yeah, Ryoko, you're not that late. It's okay. Says, you know me too well, Jay. I nodded off a bit, and you're welcome. Hope you enjoy it. I know you too well. That plus you're 15 hours ahead right now, so yeah, I can't be mad at you. 15 hours ahead. Okay, so if it's 8 p.m. for me, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. It's about 11 a.m. for you, so you're just having a lazy Saturday morning. That sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. Craig says, do you think Star Fox Grand Prix was canceled? I don't even know if it was legit, right? Because even a supposedly reliable rumor could still be not reliable. It could still be fake, right? It doesn't matter that the source was supposedly good. It could still be fake. So I don't know if there was a Star Fox Grand Prix. If there is, I really hope that it's not canceled, because I do really like Star Fox. I'd love to see a lot more Star Fox games, and I'd like to see them go a little more outside the box with Star Fox as well. That was such an interesting idea, though, a Star Fox like racing game. Actually, that kind of made sense, because when I was playing Starlink the other day, I was just talking about, and I had totally forgotten about the Star Fox Grand Prix thing, that a Star Fox racing game would be really cool. Or that it would be cool to take F-Zero and put the races on planets and not just weird big, like, metal towers and stuff. figure out what triggered the alarm. And I'm not reading this story at all. But it seems to be an interesting, like, sort of physics puzzler type game here. What? I see there's lots of lasers that are going to potentially be deadly. It handles nice. The slowdown, I think, is very essential, though. If you didn't have that slowdown... Yep, that was my mistake. I was too eager. I thought I'd just sling my way over there, but I didn't have anything to sling onto. Blake, you still watching on Facebook there? I responded to your messages, but a little bit too late there. Sorry, bud. I'm just getting caught up in a rant, you know? So the chats were getting a little far behind. The Dimensionite residue. J.E. says, Adam West was supposedly the end-all be-all Batman for a lot of people. Well, I mean, if you like the campy style Batman, there's really only one. There wasn't a whole lot of other campy Batman stuff out there. He did a great job as this humorous take on Batman, you know? Nowhere else can you find shark-repellent bat spray. Actually, I take that back. Lego Movie brought that back. But of course, it was a nod to that Batman. Was it Lego Movie? No, it was the Lego Batman movie. That's right. Simon says, I don't know why they would do a Star Fox racer. They have F-Zero for a sci-fi racer. Yeah, but like I said, F-Zero seems to do just like these like race tracks. And Star Fox, you know, you've got the ability to go to other planets, race on the ground. Maybe different kinds of vehicles instead of just tanks, or just, you know, just like little hover, I don't even know what you call them, hover ships. You could do the R-Wing, and you can do, I might forget the name of the vehicles. The little tank thing, and there's the new like helicopter thing, and there's any number. Oh, the Aquas, the submarine. Like there's a lot of different vehicles you could do in Star Fox. You could still have them be different, but I think the rumor was kind of that it was almost like a fusion of the two franchises, which I think would be awesome. I'm all into that. Ryoko Chan says, I woke up too early and couldn't fall back asleep, lol, so I played Fire Emblem Fates Conquest instead, and time just went somewhere. I hear that. Yeah, and actually, if you're looking at a lot of imagery, you tend to get sleepy, so playing video games does tend to make you fall asleep. Ah. Although, at the same time, the blue light from the system doesn't help. So, I don't know. It always makes me sleepy, at least. So, in my mind, it overpowers that. Okay, I guess it's in the portal room. Oh, there he is. Beaky McBaconstein. I'm sure that's his name. Someone says they could slap in the Star Fox theme members. Team members, I think you mean, right? Brian Zaniga's here. How's it going, dude? How's school? You still under a giant load of classwork? Landmaster, thank you, Simon. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. That's a cool name for a tank, by the way. Landmaster? Yeah. Actually, I'd like to see a Star Fox vehicle that has wheels. You know, the tank's got those treads, but I'd like to see like a big, like, warthog-like thing from Halo, you know? I'd like to see like a big monster truck vehicle in Star Fox that's meant to go on real nasty terrain, or like for cave diving, you know what I mean? Something where a ship wouldn't really be a good choice and a tank is maybe not maneuverable enough. Special objects to investigate. Sam Squatch, I love it. Almost sounds like a reference to Trailer Park Boys. interesting. So you're also being like a detective a little bit. So now I gotta go find people and show them the items I've picked up. Trying to see if those little figures are something, a reference to anything. One of them almost looks like Ultraman, but I don't think it is. Yeah, Brian, we were all talking about that. No problem. Yeah, we're all happy that Retro's working on it, but of course we're all sad that we're not going to see that game for a long time. It's not like they delayed it like 3 months, 6 months, a year. They've probably delayed it 2 if it's merely a recoding, or if they're literally starting from scratch with 0 ideas coming back and 0 assets coming back, then we're talking more 3 to 5 years. That hurts so much. Okay, I'm trying to give this to somebody who needs it, okay? Dr. Sam Squatch. Alright, we'll go find him. Ryoko-chan says, I'd so edge working at Nintendo, always worrying about Miyamoto sneaking in his motion controls into the code. The motion controls weren't bad. I like not having them. But I actually kind of enjoyed the motion controls in Metroid Prime 3. It was a fun game, and there were points, especially when you had that grapple beam, and you would rip stuff off. That was kind of satisfying. I like that. The pointing at the screen thing, I also kind of like that. Your arms can get tired, but I found a way to kind of rest your arms on your lap, but you could still point at the screen well enough that it was comfortable to play for a long amount of time. I played through all 3 of those Prime games, not this last summer, but the summer before, so summer of 2017. So yes, plenty of experience with the point controls, because I think on all of them I played a Wii version of it, so I think on all of them I had to use the pointer controls. Viscous substance. So she apparently knows what that is. I'm not reading about it though. Oh, Simon's got to go leave. All right, man. What a surprise. Parker's playing Binding of Isaac. Of course he is. I'm glad you're enjoying the game, dude. Skip Hollister. His name's Hollister. I expected somebody with the name Hollister to look a lot more like the advertisements for Hollister. If you've seen them, you know what I'm talking about. Ryoko-chan says, I know a few people who bought a Switch the moment Prime 4 was announced. I feel sorry for those guys. They must be seriously burned. Hopefully not, because there's a lot of amazing games on the Switch, and they shouldn't feel burned buying it ever, 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 ever. Commissioner Wiseheart. I'm gonna guess that's in here. This must be her. There you go. There's so many amazing games on Switch. And there's so many I don't have still, because there's 1,000, oh no, well over 1,000 games at this point. A lot more. Back to Sam Squanch, huh? Well, I did not expect there to be so much talking and investigating in this game. They've built a world here. Parker says, amazing games, like The Binding of Isaac. I think you mean like The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, which is a upgraded version of the original Binding of Isaac. And yes, absolutely. J.E. is wondering if the Naruto series has an ending. I don't know. I know they ended the series and then they started up, what is it, Boruto or something like that? And it's like his kid or something. I don't know. I didn't really watch Naruto. My friend growing up did, but I really didn't. Alright, we're going to Gootopia. That actually doesn't sound very pleasant, but here we go. Brian says, I'm really sick with the flu. Oh no, that's too bad, man. I was okay a few days ago. I recovered from a first infection, and now I got it again, but it's worse. Ah, that stinks, dude. I'm sorry. Flu is awful. Like, I've had some bad sicknesses, and then I've had the flu. You know what I mean? Like, flu is not good. Not good. The Gooblins. Oh, man. Of course they're called Gooblins. What else would they be called? Oh, you can kind of swim in it. Nice. It's a cool little feature. Hey, come back here. Playing with the physics already. I like it. They kind of explode quickly. Like, your first couple of punches don't seem to do a lot of damage, but then all of a sudden they're just dead. That third punch must really be hitting them hard. Seems like we can actually latch onto those things. Oh, I see. Aha! That was clever. I like that. Ba-bam! Sweet! Well, that's cool. Boy, I see how they're building on your abilities now, and it's pretty cool so far. Gooblins. Oh boy. Still gets me. Fail. Oh, no, we got it. Sweet. Whoa! Oh, never mind. Anticlimactic. Of course, this would be a Goo-C. I thought I was immediately dead. Brian says, really dangerous microorganisms out there. Out there where? Out there where? Parker says, okay, the Binding of Isaac Plus. That good enough? No. Afterbirth Plus. It's called the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Yeah, Afterbirth was like a big DLC addition to the game. And then it was like an enhanced version of that version of the game. So yeah, it's the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Okay. I tried jumping through the mushroom, and that didn't seem to do anything. Oh, pff, that time it worked. Whatever. Okay, so they're telling me the green stuff's no good. I can steer clear of that. Go to the right or go up. Curiosity. I'm going up. Oh, never mind. Ah, throw it at your feet. Great job. Whatever those orbs are, I feel like it gets me experience or something, so I'm going for it. Can I just punch this guy? I can. If I can reach him, just punch him. That is the moral of the story. Actually, I missed. I can't go up there now. Rats, I shouldn't have broken that right away. Well, it is what it is. J.E. says it was -6 degrees in Minneapolis today. Yeah, it wasn't warm. And boy, we've been having, you know, above zero weather for a long time now. Oof. And going back to sub-zero weather, and this is Fahrenheit, going back to sub-zero Fahrenheit weather is so cold. Man, it was, you know, I think a lot of people that live in a warm area, when they experience like 20 degrees, they're probably like, this is bitterly cold. This is so, so cold. But it's really not. It's really not. Once you start experiencing the negatives, then there's a sharp difference in how it feels, and it is extremely cold. When your nostrils are instantly freezing, like literally freezing, not just, oh, my nose is cold. No, it's actually freezing the snot. Then you know it's getting cold. That is bitterly cold. Chelsea knows what we're talking about. She has it even colder over there in Canada. Yeah. Whoa. Rick-chan says, J.E., sorry I didn't see the comment. Naruto has an ending, kind of. I mean, it's still kind of going on with Boruto, but I don't watch that, though. That kind of ruined it for me. Oh, yeah, you don't like it? No good, or is it just aimed at a younger audience, or what? Because if he's got a son, then I assume that the character aged over time, at least a little bit, right? Which is great. Not a lot of cartoons or shows in general really do that sort of thing. TV shows kind of get roped into it because they got no choice. You can see their characters literally aging if it goes on for a long time, especially children. But something like a cartoon, you can just pretend they never aged a day, and most of them do that. So that's interesting. If Naruto's one of them that allowed them to age. Digimon, that's one of the reasons I loved it. You catch in on the same characters years later on a brand new story. It's really great. Woo! There's even another Digimon movie coming out starring... Whoa! Or rather featuring... Probably not starring, not the right way to say that. Featuring, Diaboromon, which if you watch the old Digimon movie, the original, he was the big baddie from the first movie. Having him come back is going to be really awesome. Though I've heard that there is another movie that features Diaboromon, and I don't know if it didn't come here, or if it was like direct to DVD or something, but I have not seen that one, and I am jealous now. I need to see that. Get all caught up. That was called like Revenge of Diaboromon or something. So I gotta check that out. Oh, didn't mean to fall all the way down there, but hey, whatever. Just wanted to see if there was a way I could get up there. Not quite. J.E. says Dragon Ball Z kinda had an ending. They stopped calling it Dragon Ball Z after a certain period of time. I guess so. I don't think I watched all of Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball GT or any of that business. I think in the Cell Saga, I had to stop. Dragon Ball Z is really cool, but man, everybody and their mother knows that series is filled with so much nothing. Mostly just characters going, he's so powerful, there's no way I'll be able to stop him, how can anyone be this powerful? And then training montages, and then people powering up for like 10 minutes every episode. Yeah, you could cut so much out of Dragon Ball Z. And I think there literally is a version of Dragon Ball Z that the studio themselves made, not a fan cut, that is cutting out all of the garbage. I forget what it was called. I think it was called like Kai, like Dragon Ball Z Kai. And that's what it was. Dragon Ball Z minus all the filler. And that sounds like the perfect way to watch it. You could probably fit that into like 3 seasons instead of like 10. Literally. Oh, I almost messed it up, but I just barely made it. Oh. That really went down. Dragon Ball was a really good series that was mostly a comedy. I was reading the manga. I have like 8 volumes of it. There's a lot of volumes of it, and it eventually just turns into Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, there's a very distinct change from the comedy of Dragon Ball to the high action of Dragon Ball Z. Parker says, I only watch DBZ because hardcore yelling. Oh man, so much yelling. And a lot of that face. That face. You know, they got the sweat droplets going. And just so much trash talk. All of Dragon Ball Z is nothing but trash talk from one character or another. Usually backed up with amazing, ridiculous powers, but still. So much trash talk in DBZ. This is an interesting game. I like this idea of a platformer here. It is a little bit of an action platformer and a little bit of a puzzle platformer, but it's all charming and fun. And apparently a tiny bit detective game? Gathering clues and building case files. Didn't expect that. Oops. There we go. That's the easy way. Aha, and I thought there might be one of those there. J.E. says, these shortbread cookies with a creamy milk chocolate center are really good. How dare you, sir? How dare you tempt me with your cookies? I'm in the midst of a revival of my diet, so I did really good last year. And I lost like 50 pounds on a diet that I followed for like 7 straight months. It was 49 pounds. So I didn't quite make my goal of 50 pounds, but basically 50 pounds, right? Very, very close. But 7 months, took a long time. And then I kind of fell off the wagon and I gained like half of it back. So that means I kept half the progress. That's good. So now we're back into it hard again, and I'm down almost 10 pounds again. Almost. So, I can't have no cookies, because I got like 7 months of this ahead of me. Still want to hit that 50-pound goal. And I think I can. I see. I definitely do want to get up there, so... Oh! Woo! Ah! I gotta get somewhere. Oh, no, that's not gonna work. Thought I had more vertical than that. I was gonna say I need to heal. There we go. Simon's back. What's up, dude? He says all of Dragon Ball is big in Latin America. Yeah, Dragon Ball is hugely popular, which is really cool. It's one of the few anime that's like popular everywhere. Like everybody loves it. I mean, it's kind of like every power fantasy possible, right? Like Goku is like unstoppable, and a few other characters. They just get ridiculously powerful. And it's very satisfying to see how those powers work, right? You can't really do that with actual film videos. You know, destroying mountains with your powers. You know, with a single blast. Just cuts a mountain in two. Like, you can't really do that, so it's only in animation where you're gonna see stuff that cool. That extreme. That looks to be the one. Ooh, and they all dropped a bunch of those orange things along the way. Oh, no, never mind. You don't get to pick them up. Don't know why it lets you do that, though, then. Strange. I'm sorry, are those called upgradium? Oh, my goodness. Of course they are. Slide kick, healing factor, dive kick. So I've unlocked a bunch of new moves, it sounds like. That's cool. Simon's not into it, though, huh? Yeah? No? No good, man. Jay says, they told me you just have to eat food the size of your fist. And if you use ketchup or mayo on something, it needs to be a teaspoon. You can only have snacks every other day. What, a doctor? Like a doctor, a nutritionist is telling you this? You know, the size of your fist is bigger than you think. Because it's, you know, in 3 dimensions. It's not like a steak. You know, it's not a steak necessarily that's big. You gotta consider, what would a fist-sized piece of steak actually weigh? It's probably something like 6 ounces, maybe 8. Got a big fist. Which is a decent amount of meat, you know? Sometimes the only stuff, or sauce I put on stuff is hot sauce. Any particular type of hot sauce? Oh, and mustard. But not American mustard. You mean what? What kind of mustard are we talking about here? Because in America, there's loads of different kinds of mustard. There's the yellow mustard, which is maybe what you're thinking of. There's the ground mustard, deli-style mustard. There's Dijon mustard. There's spicy brown mustard. There's a lot of different kinds of mustard here. I think I like the standard yellow mustard and the spicy brown mustard the most. Those are the two I really enjoy. Nutritionist said that to you, J.E. Okay, well, hey, listen to it. Guaranteed, no matter what diet you're on, if you stick with it for a long period of time, you will lose weight. You will lose weight. That's why there's so many different diets out there, and all of them work. Because all of them, in the end, are doing something good, and you're sticking to it, and you're eating a lot less calories, and you're getting more nutrition than you used to be getting. You just keep that up over a period of several months, you'll see big results. You do that over the period of several years, amazing results. You do that your whole life, you're going to live a long time. A whole long time. Simon says, let's say Heinz-like yellow mustard. Yeah, Heinz. That would be the yellow mustard. Yep. That is the... I would think your idea of of an American mustard. Yeah. I don't have any idea how much of that is actually mustard versus a deli style or ground mustard or any of that business. No idea. Chelsea doesn't like spicy food. I'm right there with the Chelsea. I also do not like spicy food. I can handle a small amount of spice, but, you know, after a certain point, it gets to just be about the spiciness and not about flavor. And people say, the spiciness is the flavor. No, it's a sensation. It's a literal burning of your taste buds. It is not a flavor. What am I looking at here? Equipables, a slide kick and a dive kick. Heavy attack, stick down and right in the air. Okay. No, that's permanence. These are the equipables. Got it. Increase the radius the track's energy dropped from enemies. Sure. Sure. Apparently those are the only two I have unlocked, so that's good. Jay says, I have a hard time going without bread, FiveJay. Yep. Yeah, low carb is tough, but that's kind of what we are doing. We're doing something kind of paleo-ish, I guess. I don't really make the food, so I'm assuming that's what it is. You don't have a lot of carbs, but you do still get to eat, you know, meat. And I don't know if you're supposed to have cheese in paleo. I don't know, but we have cheese. You know, some dairy. You don't overload yourself, but, you know, a little bit. But if I couldn't have meat and I couldn't have bread, like, oh, just end me. It's over. But you can do it, J.E. I know you can. The hardest part is starting out and keeping with it for the first, like, week or two. And then after that point, and you start seeing, like, hey, you know, it's been like 2 weeks and I dropped like 10 pounds because you made a drastic change to your diet, you know. So you got some pretty good results right away. Like, it could be more than 10 pounds, especially if you have a lot to lose. If you have a lot to lose, you tend to lose a lot of the pounds right away. Because first of all, your body is burning a lot more energy because there's a lot more of you that it has to feed, right? So as you're losing weight, you're going to start losing it more slowly. But that quick progress up front is really going to help you get into it and say, okay, I can see how these first 2 weeks, though they were tough, feels really rewarding and I want to stick with it. Now I feel more motivated to stick with it. Then you stick with it for a month and you stick with it for 2 months and you're going to see huge progress. In 2 months, if you stick to your diet hard, no cheating, don't cheat on your diet at all. If you stick on that for a month, 2 months, you'll see huge progress. Huge progress. And huge, for definition, is more to the tune of like 20 pounds, not to the tune of like 50 pounds. Though it's maybe possible, don't get your hopes up too much. But losing 20 pounds is a huge deal. It really is. You can tell a difference. When you suddenly lose 20 pounds, you're like, wow, I can tell. I'm definitely smaller now. I have done this several times, right? Like I said, I lost almost 50 pounds, 49 pounds, and then I gained 25 of it back. And now I've lost another 10 pounds. I can feel the difference 10 pounds ago to now. That's only 10 pounds. Anyway, Simon says, my favorite sauce is Chipotle sauce. I hate sauces that get rid of flavor. Yeah, absolutely. Something that has a lot of character to it, not just it hurts your face. Chelsea says, I couldn't live without meat or cheese. Ugh. Yeah, I have just a little bit of cheese and I wouldn't say limited amounts of meat. I have a pretty healthy amount of meat in my day, and that makes it very bearable. And when we have veggies, my wife cooks it up real good. You know, it's not salads. We never, ever have salads because they're boring and they're gross. She'll roast vegetables and she'll use butter, you know. She'll use salt. Hey, look, it's an Infinity Gauntlet reference. Look at that. Ah, the Starland Gauntlet, a powerful and... I missed the rest of it. Ah, there we go. So, yeah. Anyways, whatever the diet is, stick with it. Do not cheat at all. Cheating at all throws a bigger wrench in your diet than you can imagine. So just don't cheat. Don't do it. Stick with it for 2 weeks straight without a single cheat. Do that and you'll see results already in 2 weeks. Do it. Chelsea says, they say it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. I'd believe it. Someone says, ketogenic diet is good. It has worked on my best friend. Yeah, it's good, but I think what a lot of nutritionists are saying is that it's not necessarily feasible long term, because the keto diet specifically is almost no carbs. And in your life, you're going to encounter some carbs, right? So as far as like a diet goes, like something that you're not going to follow forever, it's really good. But if you're talking about you want a permanent lifestyle change, keto is probably not that. It's a good way to get yourself into healthier eating, into, you know, discipline into what you eat, but it is not a permanent lifestyle change. One sec. Okay, Parker says something about Dunkin' Donuts. I don't want to click away, but it scrolled off on me. J.E. says the nutritionist said if you go to McDonald's and get a quarter pounder with cheese or a dollar menu burger as opposed to a Big Mac, if you go to Subway, get a 6-inch Subway sandwich. Oh, so that is baby steps right there. That's totally baby steps right there. I get it. Okay, and then hopefully you'll work your way down from there. Yeah, and you know, eventually maybe instead of getting cheeseburgers, you're getting grilled chicken sandwiches. You know what I mean? And then maybe you say, maybe I'll go instead and just go to Chick-fil-A. I don't know if you have that, but this is an example. Maybe you'll go to Chick-fil-A and you'll just get some chicken fillets without the sandwich, you know, without the bun kind of thing. Take your baby steps, whatever it is, just, you know, stick with it and you're going to see results. Simon is soda free. If you drink a lot of soda, cutting that out will save you hundreds, maybe thousands of calories in a day, depending on how much soda you drink. I drank a lot of it, so it saved me a lot. And I couldn't cope, so I have switched to these Zevia sodas. I cannot go without soda. So this is 0 calories, 0 sugar. The only downside is they're expensive. So I gotta limit myself still, but at the very least, I'm not pumping sugar and calories into my body anymore. However, I'm somewhat concerned, what does lots and lots of stevia do to the body? I don't know. I guess I'm a good guinea pig for that little study there, because I'm having lots of it. Just says, yes, just limit your portions in moderation for a cheat day. And that's another thing, is when I backslid the hardest on my diets is when we were like, all right, we were clean for a month. Now let's have a cheat weekend. And all weekend, we're going to eat anything and everything that we want. And then right away, Monday, we're going to go back to eating good. Well, guess what? Monday came and we were not on that diet anymore. It was definitely falling off the wagon because we hadn't prepared. And we had leftovers of all the junk that we had bought all weekend. So I was like, well, okay, well, we'll just finish off what we have in the fridge and then we'll get back on the diet. And then it's like, oh, you know, I'm running out of time. I'm just going to hit McDonald's quick. We've already been, one more cheat won't hurt. And it's this chain of events that just spiral out of control. And then you go, oh, I just regained 20 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever it is. And it hurts. And it hurts so much. So, yeah, if you're going to cheat, make it a meal. Don't make it a day. Don't make it a weekend. I have made that mistake, and it was bad. Simon says Caesar salad is good. Yeah, you know, occasionally. Every single day? Every day? No, absolutely not. J.E. is drinking LaCroix. I couldn't do it. LaCroix is just not good enough. There's all sorts of funny descriptions for what LaCroix tastes like. The one that I like is that LaCroix tastes like somebody in another room whispers the name of a fruit. I'm like, yeah. Yep, it's definitely not a soda. And as a soda guy, I need soda. I don't need lightly flavored bubbles. I need soda. So that's where Zevia came in for me. Craig says, I had a smaller dinner today than usual, and I plan to continue that. Yes, absolutely. You're going to get used to the smaller portions. Your stomach is going to shrink, and it's going to get easier and easier to be more modest in what you're eating. Absolutely. Someone says, okay, let me fix that. I am sugary beverages free. There you go. Parker says, my family drinks tons of Coke, and it's weird. Coke sucks like my poems. Wow. I like Coke. Let me rephrase that. I like pretty well any soda ever. That's really more the shape of things. I like all soda, really. I think I see what's going on here. No, that wasn't it. What if I throw this at that? Seriously, though. How do I get up there? I assumed one of those things would fling me. But no, you just grab it. Why am I so stuck right now? What if I throw this at that? No, I thought maybe it would bounce and do something cool. Simon, no, LaCroix is not filled with sugar. Just says, yes, I quit pop. I failed and started drinking pop during the holidays, and I just quit again. Yeah, it's a dangerous and slippery slope, isn't it? It's not easy. It is not easy. Wow, that's a lot of exclamation points to make go away. I think we got to get out of here. I don't think I can get anywhere here. So we're going to go to the first level of some of these other areas. Reptaria, we're going to go. Chelsea says, they say that for a cheat day, to pick one meal is a cheat. Yeah, exactly. And then the rest of the day, you're back on the diet. Or you will regret it. It will get out of hand so fast and easy. Craig says, I'm also trying to quit soda, just drinking lots of water. That's another thing. Sometimes when you're hungry, if you just drink like a load of water, you're suddenly less hungry. I mean, it's not like, oh, I was starving and now I'm not hungry at all, but like, if you're a little bit on the hungry side and you're kind of considering a snack, and then you drink a lot of water, you're like, I can hold off a little longer. That sort of thing. It's not extreme, but it's something. Gotcha. Another tactic you can try is if you're really struggling and you really want a snack, just start shoving vegetables in your mouth and eating them. Like, you don't have to enjoy it, but if you just fill up on something good, you're going to be less hungry all of a sudden, and you're going to go, well, I didn't really enjoy that, but I'm not hungry anymore, so I guess I don't need to go out and get that burger that I was really tempted to go get, or open up a bag of chips or something that I know I shouldn't have. J.E. says, I assume portioning your food makes you burn more fat cells in your body. Well, it's more of a matter of if you're eating all the time, then your body is doing nothing but trying to figure out where to put all this extra energy, this extra fat or sugar or what have you. It's just like, where does it go? It never stops. It never ends up using any of the stored energy it already has in its body. All it does is continue to just build up more and more, right? And that's how you're gaining weight. So yeah, that's essentially what you're saying. Yeah, that's what's going on. Your body goes, okay, I'm not currently intaking any energy, so I'll use some of what I already have. And I've got lots of it, most likely. If you're looking to lose weight, you probably have plenty of extra energy in your body. Even 10 pounds of extra weight is a lot of energy that your body can use for a long time. Of course, you don't want to starve yourself. I'm not promoting that at all. But not eating all the time is definitely helpful to losing weight. cutting out the snacking, just eating during meals, you know. But if you're too hungry and you just can't stop yourself from wanting to cheat, then have a healthy snack to curb those cravings. But yeah, ideally, you eat your meals and that's it. Oh boy. Ugh. All of a sudden I can't do... Oh, that's it. Got it. Gotcha. Whoa! Well, ankylosaur or something there. That is a save point. Don't miss that. Chelsea now drinks 2 liters of water. There you go. They say you're supposed to drink your body weight in ounces of water. And that is an insane amount of water. But if you double how much water you probably were drinking before you were on a diet, then you're probably in a pretty good spot. Because if you weren't on a diet, you probably weren't drinking much water. So if you double it, that's a start. Of course, if double is 0 to 0, then okay, maybe that's a poor metric. But you know. Someone says, perfect snack, carrot slices with tons of lemon juice and pepper. Oh, I don't think that we typically have a snack like that here. Carrot sticks, plain. People will put that as a snack, and I've done that plenty of times. It ain't good, but it has curbed my hunger sometimes. But no, it ain't good. Some lemon juice and pepper, though. That's interesting. Parker eats lots of cheese all day. Yep, I used to be that way. Cheese, carbs, meat. Give it to me. Pile it high. Eat it all day long. It's easy to do. It's delicious. But one day, you really pay for it. While you're young, you're probably a lot more active than when you get older. Right? Like, I started gaining a lot of weight when I stopped walking everywhere on college campus. Once I was allowed to have a car on campus, I started gaining weight more quickly. And then once I moved off campus and I had to drive everywhere, then I gained weight really quickly. And I didn't really change my diet, really. I was still eating college diet the whole time, but I just gained a lot more weight because I cut out a lot of activity to the point of almost no activity. Pushing the wrong button. There we go. That's the kick I want. Hey, what you doing? Little wrenchosaur. Man, always hit the wrong button. That's the one I want. And it does a lot of damage too. Ba-boom! So anyways, losing weight is incredibly difficult. It really is. However, keeping the weight off long term is even harder. Because after you lose a large amount of weight, you're going to be tempted to just pretend like you can go back to your old life and like it'll be fine. Like, oh, say you lost 100 pounds. You'd be like, oh, I've got 100 pounds. There's no way I'm going to gain all that back. I'll just go back to eating pizza and burgers and not caring about anything. And I'll just see that I'm gaining some weight and then I'll cut back again. But you'll go, oh, there goes 30 pounds, woof. But I still got 70 pounds. It's okay. And you keep doing it. And the next thing you know, you've gained back 80 pounds and you lost all of your discipline. And it's really hard for you to go back to your diet. And you gain those final 20 pounds again. And you go, I can't believe I gained back everything that I lost. Because sticking with it long term is even harder than doing it at all. So, but the fact that you did do it, and the fact that you will do it, J.E., I know you will. You got it in you. The fact that you did do it means that you can continue to do it. You can continue to make good choices your whole life. It just means you got to keep in mind that whole cheat thing. It's not that you can never have burgers again. It's that you can't have burgers and pizza every day. It means that you have to eat good every day. And here and there, you can go out and get the good stuff. The good stuff. You know what I mean. But the good stuff can't be your daily diet ever again. Ever again. It's tough stuff, man. Really, really tough. Planner's here. What's up, dude? I think I've missed some chats already. And if I leave this game, it closes it down. So I don't like doing it. So, sorry if I missed some of your chats. Just put them in there again. Jay says, here's what I had to do today for breakfast. I took a big soup bowl and I cut down the amount of cereal in it by half. With my lunch and dinner, I kind of had a little bit more than I should have had, though. That's the tough part. Because your stomach hasn't shrunk at all yet, right? You're just getting started, it sounds like. So you're just as hungry as you always are, but you're trying to eat less food. That's where the vegetables come in. Because if you eat half as much cereal as you normally do, but then you also eat some vegetables that are very few calories, by the way, and full of good nutrition, then you'll make yourself just as full as you used to get, except it won't be so many empty calories, and it'll be good for you, and you'll have, so you'll be the same amount of full, but you'll have done yourself a favor. The same thing could be said of all your other meals. You know, this is a glitch. Okay. I went to the right, and it's not helping. There we go. Weird. Anyways, the same thing can be said of the other meals. If you're going to cut down your portions in half, then add some vegetables and help yourself out there. That way you're still getting a lot of food, but you've cut down the garbage. Whoa. Parker found some crackers. Oh man, crackers are so good. Any type of carbs, really. Can't think of a carb that I don't enjoy at the moment, but that's not helpful. Also talking about cheese. What, mozzarella cheese? The fresh mozzarella? That's the good stuff. Why do these little dinosaurs kind of sound like growling cats? Simon says, eat fruits throughout the day. Yeah, depends on what your doctor told you, because sometimes the doctors might say don't eat a lot of fruit because of the sugar. And I mean, I get it. I think in the keto diet, you're not allowed much in the way of sugar either. I did a low sugar diet, and the only fruits I was allowed was half of a green apple in a day, and then actually an unlimited amount of lemons and limes, which I found interesting. Apparently, there's very little to no sugar in that, or there's other things in the lemons and limes that breaks down the sugar to the point where it's not harmful. Yeah, it literally said unlimited. So I made like lots of like homemade, it's not really lemonade without sugar, is it? But approximation of lemonade. Lemonade-ish. And that was helpful, because I was, you know, doing not Zevia or anything at that point. So it was sugar-free, 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 sugar-free. It was tough, but it was totally worth it. I lost a bunch of weight. And it was a really great kickstart to my diet. Just it wasn't sustainable long term, but it didn't need to be. It just got me kickstarted, you know? Oh, so close. Chocolat bleu. There we go. Excuse me. Parker says, Jay, don't die to a boss. You a jetpack man. I'm a jetpack man. Jetpack man, something, something, something. Words from an Elton John song. Thank you. That was my best song parody I think I've ever made. It's really good, I know. You're all impressed, and you should be. Just says, fruits are good, but has a lot of sugar and acid. Yeah, like I said, it depends on the diet. Depends on what your doctor told you. It sounds like what your doctor, your nutritionist, is telling you is basically take baby steps and work your way into a healthier diet. And that's fine. You know, that's going to get you somewhere long term, I think. Especially if you have a lot of weight to lose. And at one point I had 80 pounds to lose, and that's not a small amount of weight. So I get it. When you got a lot to lose, little changes can actually really make big results. You might lose 10, 20 pounds just cutting out a little bit of food every day. A little bit. Seriously. You might lose that much weight making a small change. Over a long period of time. Not over a week. Over like a month, maybe 2. If you made a small change over 2 months, you might still lose 20 pounds. Maybe you didn't add much healthy food in your life, but you cut down your portions a little bit, you could still see big progress. Ugh. Yeah, up here. What's up here? I knew it. I totally knew it. Kitty dinosaurs. Get out of here. Oh, and they're hitting with wrenches, and that's helping too. Nice. Ah, I gotta finish them all off. Gotcha. Like this. I think there was a little checkpoint here. Oh, we already got it. We're good. Wow, once again, there's a lot of chats. Parker drinks a liter of Powerade a day. Whoa! That's a lot. Simon says that it gives you kidney stones if you have too much Powerade. I know the point of things like Powerade or Gatorade is that they have electrolytes in them, which is nutrients that help you rehydrate your body. Oh, can't touch that, I guess. So they're not really meant to be ingested in massive quantities. They are really only meant for some limited scenarios. I can see Simon's point, rather. You probably shouldn't have gallons or liters of it in a day. Ah, now you've done it. Oh, I forgot. It doesn't work like Mega Man X. You can't repeatedly jump up the side. Yeah. Oh, cruel. Now it's turning into Super Meat Boy. When did this happen? Okay. Woo! Oh, don't you knock me off. Yeah, that's right. Back up, punk. No! Okay. That's better. Back off, man. This is getting intense all of a sudden. Haven't heard from Ryoko-chan in a while. What do you want to bet she's sleeping again? It's okay if you are Ryoko-chan. Don't worry about it. Enjoy your Saturday in whatever way you would like. Parker says, is walking around in circles for 3 hours good exercise? Because I do that. Well, it's exercise. I don't know if it's good exercise, but any exercise is better than no exercise. I learned that when I messed up my back with all the streaming. Because I sit all day at work, and then I come home and I stream, and then when I'm not streaming, I sit and I play video games. Literally my day, every day, is just sitting down all day. Or I'm driving places, and you're sitting while you're driving. And that turned out to be really bad for my back. And figure. You're not burning any calories. Hardly any calories while you're sitting. Jay says, my nutritionist has told me I am in the camp that says too much of anything is a bad thing. Yeah, that's true of any, like that's literally the definition of too much, right? Literally too much water will kill you. You can drink enough water that you will die. That is real. There is no way that there's anything out there that you can have unlimited amounts of. Like anything that's too much will by definition be bad for you. So yeah, Chus is right, moderation is key. Which is good when it comes to vegetables because usually you're not begging for more. But yeah, it's harder with the stuff that you find tasty. Oh, looks like we're actually at 9 here, so I'm just going to finish up some chats and then I got to take off. Someone says Powerade and Gatorade are meant to replenish electrolytes after too much exercise. Indeed. To gain back what you lost while exercising. Indeed. Oh, see, you do anything and that happens. That's right. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for watching. Of course, you'll see me over the weekend, so I shall see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming, guys. See ya.